Carvajal standards. He wants to get it back tonight. He is fierce, and he is determined to get in a punch-out. So I look for a blazing good fight from Carvajal tonight.
And let's take a look at the #1 contender, Melchor Castro, the former WBC light flyweight champ who held the title for less than 90 days. He's waited patiently for a shot at regaining a world championship, winning 9 straight in the last 3 years. Bobby, your take on Castro?
Well, Castro's a smooth boxing southpaw, but he doesn't have tremendous power and not KO in both hands. He's smart, good boxer, good shape, but he lacks that power and victories over real quality opponents, which makes him, even though he's the #1 contender, an almost 3-to-1 dog here to the #2 contender, Michael Carvajal.
All right, Bobby, let's check the numbers as we go to the tail of the tape. Brought to you by The Ring, the Bible of boxing. Castro at 27, 2 years younger than Carvajal. Castro only 5'1", Carvajal 5'5 and a half. The weight even at 107. The reach advantage to Carvajal at 65 1/4. And to the IBF rules for this championship, out scheduled for 12 rounds, 10-point must system. 3 judges score the fight, no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. The bell cannot save a fighter in any round. If an accidental foul occurs before the end of round 6, it's a no decision. After the end of round 6, they go to the scorecards. So here at the MGM Grand Garden in Las Vegas, closing in on the fight for the vacant IBF Junior Flyweight Championship. Let's get the official introductions from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the world's largest hotel, casino, and theme park, the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. As we have a big night of action coming away, and it's all brought to you by Don King Productions and King Vision, in association with Showtime Event Television, Corona, La Cerveza Más Fina, and the MGM Grand. At this time, we present the IBF Junior Flyweight World Championship, sanctioned by the International Boxing Federation. The President, Robert Lee Sr., Supervisor Darrell Peoples, along with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Dr. James Nave. Introducing to you our judges for this bout, Bill Graham, Tom McDonough, and Dave Moretti. Introducing to you our referee in charge of this bout. He'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Jay Nady. All right, fans, here we go with the vacant IBF Junior Flyweight Championship of the World, scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first on my right, fighting out of the blue corner, entering the ring wearing white trunks with red trim. He is fighting out of and representing his hometown of Phoenix, Arizona. He weighed in at a ready 107 pounds. With a professional record of 39 wins, 2 losses, he has 25 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the 1988 Olympic silver medalist and 3-time world champion in the 108-pound division, currently ranked the #2 IBF Junior Flyweight contender, introducing Manitas de Piedra, Michael Carvajal. And presenting his opponent across the ring on my left, fighting out of the red corner, he is wearing blue trunks with gold trim, hailing from China, Campeche, Mexico. He weighed in the same as his opponent, 107 pounds. His record includes 45 wins, 4 losses, and 4 draws, with 19 wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the former WBC light flyweight champion of the world and the current IBF #1 ranked contender, introducing Melchor Castro. Once again, a referee in charge, Jay Nady, now to give instructions.
Do we have any questions? We have 12 rounds. This is for the IBF Championship of the World. I want a good, clean fight. When I tell you to break, I want you to step back cleanly. Obey my commands and defend yourself at all times. Let's go to work.
Final instructions from referee Jay Nady. Michael Carvajal. Well, critics of Carvajal say he may have seen better days. Tonight we'll see if he still has it against formidable opposition in Melchor Castro, 45-4-4 with 19 knockouts, all 4 defeats by decision. Here we go. Round one scheduled for 12 for the vacant IBF Junior Flyweight title. Carbajal, the number 2 contender in the white trunks. Cobb Castro, the number 1 contender in the blue. Cobb Castro told us the best way to win this fight is to freeze Carbajal out, not get in a punch out. He'll look to box. He is not anxious to go toe-to-toe with Carbajal.
Something you can't hardly avoid if you're fighting Carbajal. I mean, he gets in close, he starts firing. If he's got the old fire in him tonight, and that's what we're going to see, then it's going to be a tough night for Cobb Castro to stay away from.
For a guy like Cobb Castro, too, being shorter with shorter reach and height, to get inside and not be a puncher is a difficult thing because he's got to be in and out, and that takes so much energy.
Carbajal told us he'd like to draw Cobb Castro into a slugfest, and to do that, he'll try to cut off the ring and make Cobb Castro fight. He feels he's got the power over Cobb Castro, but he thinks that Cobb Castro will be moving around a lot. Cobb Castro said that the Carbajal thinks slow. He doesn't react.
I don't think that's right. I think he's made a big mistake. That's what he's estimating Carbajal. He fires off very fast, just as you saw right then. When he gets in close, his hands fly.
And Purdy, is, you know, you were there. He also went on to say he loses his head, does Carbajal, when he gets hit. And Cobb Castro added, my speed is 1,000 times better. Well, that's why we're here.
His speed's better, but certainly his power is, and he's got 45 wins and only 19 knockouts, where 25 knockouts and 39 wins for Carbajal. Power certainly on the side of Carbajal. And also that awkward southpaw stance. Once again, the southpaws are always difficult when you box with the southpaw. Counters are backwards, everything's going to be reversed.
And Cobb Castro feels his southpaw style will not affect Carbajal. He's fought too many left-handers, he says. He thinks that Carbajal will adjust it. Look out, little wrestling tactics there.
Wild miss by Carbajal. He went right over the top and landed on his shoulder. It looked sloppy, but it didn't do anything to either fighter.
Some bad intentions on it, though.
Yeah, I mean, you could see. I mean, Michael's always fought fierce. I mean, we covered him in the Olympics in Korea, and boy, from the first opening gong, that guy was there 100%. Little guy, huge, huge heart.
Carbajal, knockout power, as Bobby pointed out. He could also take a punch. He does have trouble with the elusive, quick-moving styles, as we saw in his second fight with Chiquita Gonzalez, who fought a very smart fight and took the WBC IBF light flyweight titles away. Carbajal from the streets of Phoenix, Arizona, trains in his backyard, the fabled 9th Street Gym, under the tutelage of his brother Danny. Gave back to the community by refurbishing an old church on 9th Street, renamed it the 9th Street Gym.
As you talked about before, Conchi Gonzalez, somewhat of a nemesis for both fighters.
Right. Beaten them both twice. Carbajal did beat Gonzalez once.
Once again, very little action. Carbajal has to be given the advantage because he's come in. Let's listen to the corner and see what advice he gets.
Give me the rest of my major. Okay, mira. What he's trying to do is do the same shit that they had Gonzalez do. Move around, and then try to come on strong. Don't let him take the last 10 seconds, okay? He's going to have to stand and trade, all right? Don't get careless. Just keep the pressure on him. Keep them hands high. If he wants to run around, let him run around, but you gotta throw, okay? Le jab si quiere. Nomás muéveselo. Ponlo enfrente de su cara. Make him commit. Okay? You're doing all right.
Velocidad. Poco a poco. Regresas cada vez que bloqueas con velocidad.
Nacho Bernstein saying speed. Speed is what it is. You know, get faster. As soon as he gets in close, speed. Well, it's hard to do with Carbajal and not get hit back. Let's see what goes on in the second round. Action's got to speed up. That was a slow and boring first round.
Well, round one followed the strategy as Cobb Castro constantly moved around the ring, and Carbajal will have to cut him off and try to use his power.
Yeah, but moving around the ring is not all that doesn't win your fight. It certainly doesn't win your championship. You got to stop and fight.
Up to be.
You got to fight. Are my old eyes right? Is that what say above the law on his trunks, on Carbajhal's trunks?
Yes, that's the name of a rap group that sang his ring walk music. On Carbajhal's trunks, he has the names of his children along with the name of the rap group Above the Law.
You are a fountain of information today. Could you tell me what that tattoo is on the back of his calf?
Let's not get out of hand now, Ferdy. Round two. Cobb Castro works closely in the gym with WBC strawweight champ Ricardo Lopez, one of the best. We'll see him later. He's 40-0, considered by many is pound for pound the best in the world. They're very good friends, and they share the same trend of the man you talked about, Ignacio Beristain.
I think Carbajal has to push a little more, use the jab a little more, use the stiff jab. He's got the big power jab. Stick it out there, make the smaller fighter jump around and make him speed around and push him back like this on the rope. Work his body, rough him up a little.
Don't hold, don't hold.
The action heating up a little bit here as Cobb Castro going to the body.
If it was possible, who would ever think you'd live to see a fight in which Carbajal is a taller fighter? I mean, he's so small. I mean, here's taller than this guy.
He's 5'5" and a half. Cobb Castro just 5'1". From China, Campeche, Mexico. Turns 28 in April, the #1 contender in the blue trunks. He prefers the pronunciation Melchor.
You know, right now, even with that, Cobb Castro's leaving too much room. He's quicker, but he's leaving too much room between him and Castro. If he's going to get in and out, he's got to be just out of range of Carbajal's punches, not as far out as he is, and he's not going to get it done from out there.
Cobb Castro, the southpaw, missing wildly with that right, then the left hook.
But Michael's coming in with that right hand straight down the pike. This kid's wide open right down the pike. And as he steps in, as Michael steps in, that makes more force to that right hand, and he has been applying it to the forehead of Cobb Castro.
Interestingly, Cobb Castro kind of strays from the typical Mexican face-first, toe-to-toe brawler style. Only the 19 KOs in 45 wins.
Exactly, as Bobby pointed out, it's half the power against full power.
He employs a fast-moving, quick-handed technician style to complement his natural southpaw approach. Usually, he is a slow starter and a fast finisher. There's that left hook by Cobb Castro, but it did not land. Missing wildly again with the left hook.
Acuérdate, agarra el pasito para la izquierda. Throw that right hand. That right hand is going in. It's catching it. Okay, it's going straight in, and it's catching it. Échale agua. Échale una poquita de agua. That's good. Ahí le estás dando bien con la derecha. Cuando lo miras, te hace para atrás, man. Throw the other right hand going with the hook. Okay, but you got to move in with it, right? Hands up.
Okay, so here's what we're talking about. If Cobb Castro is going to be effective, he's got to be just barely out of range of his right hand. He's going to throw his right hands and his left hands here. He's got to be just out of range and then fire right back with his speed and step in and counter. And you watch it happen when Carbajal.
Be willing to mix it up inside. We'll see what happens here in round 3 if there's more toe-to-toe contact.
I think they both got to step it up. I think Carvajal's got to start getting a little bit more aggressive than he's been. And Cobb Castro's got to do something positive to win these rounds rather than to just let him slip away. He's getting close, as Bobby showed you in the telestrator. It's got the good idea. It's just not getting there.
Cobb Castro in the blue. He's the #1 contender for the IBF Junior Flyweight Championship, former WBC Light Flyweight champion.
Break.
Cobb Castro has never been down.
Stop punching on the break.
Referee Jay Nady, who looks like Sean Bradley in there next to these two guys.
Yeah. He just said, don't hit on the break. Actually, you know, it wasn't flagrant. They weren't really flying at it. He's just trying to make sure that it stays a nice, clean fight, which it has been.
See, Cobb Castro has to draw that fire, but he can't jump so far back out of range. And you can see him there as he was jumping, he was inching up.
Break.
Something he's got to do. He's got to stay close to him.
Carbajal, of course, has been down in that war with Chiquita Gonzalez. He got off the canvas twice to win that fight.
I tell you what, Bobby, I'd hate to be leaping in when you're facing a guy who can fire as fast as Carbajal can and as hard.
Yeah,
leaping in and getting hit.
You try not to leap. You try and step smartly, but he's got to make the move. He's got to come forward. He can't hit the man if he can't reach him.
And several times he's left his feet coming in. He's getting a little flustered. The distance is so great. You see how he reached for it that time? That distance is beginning to bother him. Oh, nice.
Oh, good.
That's a perfect example of that slip and counter.
Cobb Castro.
Let go his arm.
That was just what you showed on the telestrator.
Go grab the arm.
Exactly the punch.
He rocks just out of range, just off the tips of that glove, and it's, you know, you got to be careful because if you misjudge it, you get caught flush in the face.
Yeah, he got hit in the forehead just then, and his knees buckled, but not from the punch. I mean, he just was in a bad position.
Carvajal's first title fight here since November of 1994, over 2 years ago. when he lost again to Chiquita Gonzalez in their third fight. He's 6-0 since, the last 5 by knockout. Straight right hand by Carbajal.
There you can see the power of that right hand.
Right down the middle. And it got between the gloves, the defense of Cobb Castro.
Well, that's been there all night. It's starting to sting and stun him a little bit. Cobb Castro is not going to be able to eat that for 12 rounds, I'll tell you.
Well, Carbajal told us yesterday he feels he's got the power against the elusive Cobb Castro. Missing with that right hook.
Break.
Michael Carbajal. Good duck under move there by the #1 contender.
See, pace is important if you're going to make a big puncher run out of gas or at least use a lot of energy. And Cobb Castro's not keeping that pace for him.
No hables. Mejor ve viendo lo que estás haciendo, ¿me entiendes? No comentes aquí, Melchor. Ahorita vas a boxear igual, que es el cuarto round. Sí. Pero a ver, intenta a ver si puedes hacer un rompimiento y le caes a tu brazo. Ok, de sorpresa. Inténtalo, sí. Que no se te olvide porque esa es la base de la victoria, es sorprenderlo. Ahorita le metiste golpes y el tipo reacciona muy lentamente. Y todavía no entiende.
All right, this is the making a miss punch. He missed. He came around. Of course, that was a low blow after he made a miss. Nacho's saying, now you got the style. Now just step it up about 50%.
And you see Castro, see what he does? Just off that hand, counters with the straight or the overhand left. That's what he's got to do. He's got to just make that miss, not be by a lot, because he is shorter and he's not going to reach as easily.
And that's exactly what they told him in the corner, Bobby. Nacho said, that's the punch. You landed it good. Now increase the intensity. Try to be faster. But that's the punch we're looking at. So, Bobby, you hit it right on the head. That's exactly their plan.
Ignacio Beristain has trained 8 world champions, including Ricardo Lopez, who's upcoming, and Chiquita Gonzalez, offering the advice. Cobb Castro having more success with the overhand, the looping lefts, while the straight rights seem to be working more for Carbajal as we enter round 4.
Well, Cobb Castro hasn't done enough in each round to win. He's getting closer. He's getting the idea, but he's just not doing enough, and Carbajal is leading the fight. I mean, he's making the fight.
See, that's one of the things Cobb Castro has to worry about is that power. When you have to worry about that power, you have to almost take a secondary thought to your punches, and he can't do that. He's got to be able to slip, have confidence in his chin, and attack a little bit.
Well, Nacho told him to step it up 50%. I think we're seeing a much faster and much more determined fighter this round in Cobb Castro than he has been.
Meanwhile, Michael Carbajal in the white trunks, more of a slugger than a boxer, sometimes gets lured into the wrong kind of fights, wrong kind of style. He seems to be holding his own as far as style is concerned here. He's trying to lure, trying to draw Cobb Castro into his style. He wants to get into a street fight here. There's a swing and a miss by Carbajal. He landed with the right uppercut to the belly and then missed with the left.
And the thing he's landing. I mean, he lands one, he misses one, but he lands. He's always in action. I mean, this guy likes to fight.
Cobb Castro feeling that his speed will do the trick here against Michael Carbajal, but Carbajal's power may win out.
Let go.
Carbajal's blocking a lot of those punches, quick little shots pretty nicely too. So he not only is not landing bigger shots, but he's not even landing as many shots right now.
Let him out, let go.
Michael Carbajal, fabled amateur career, began his pro career 6 months after a very successful amateur career, capped by the silver medal performance in the '88 games.
That right hand keeps finding its way.
The traditional right hand lead down the middle against the southpaw for Carbajal now with the distance and the range and the power working.
Well, left hook there by Cobb Castro, but not much steam behind it.
If that had good steam, that was a very good punch. He just didn't have it.
It was right on the temple. Wild miss there by Carbajal. Jay Nady says, watch the heads.
I didn't see that much.
Yeah, they banged heads just briefly as they both came into each other, but nothing major.
Well, you do that when you fight left-handers. Like stepping on each other's toes. That's what happens.
Cobb Castro, the southpaw, in the blue. We're here at the MGM Grand Garden in Las Vegas, Nevada. The vacant IBF Junior Flyweight Championship, all leading up to the WBC Heavyweight Championship between the champion Frank Bruno and the challenger Mike Tyson.
Be more active, okay? When you get inside, work. Keep working whatever free hand you got. Get inside that body. All he's doing is trying to hold, okay? Yeah, he's gonna try to, they're doing the same kind of shit. He's trying to run around and wait until the later rounds, but he ain't got no power. Just don't get careless. Adentro, trabaja en el cuerpo. All right. Work that body when you get inside.
Round number 5. Two fighters in pursuit of a vacant crown, the IBF Junior Flyweight Championship. The number 1 contender in the blue trunks, Melchor Castro. The number 2 challenger in the white trunks, Michael Carbajal.
Now here's a fight where I have Carbajal winning handily, yet if you walked in and watched these, you weren't keeping score. It's kind of an even fight because nothing's happening. Not one is taking the advantage of the other. Nobody's getting a big beating. It's just kind of, you know, nice little gym workout here. You know, unless they heat up.
Yeah, there was a nice little combination by Castro, and you know, it's every round is won kind of clearly, but not by a lot. It's very light. The third round was close. It almost could have been even, but not a lot of action. It's a very difficult tactical fight to fight.
Meanwhile, this crowd settling in for hopefully an exciting main event. Better than 15,000 should be on hand when all is said and done. SRO.
It is filling up if you look around.
Well, anybody that doesn't come early to see Carbajal fight is crazy. This is not one of the great fights that he's done, but Carbajal is always going to give you his money's worth. This just doesn't happen to be one of them.
Not only that, Ricardo Lopez later.
Maybe the best known secret, I mean, least known of the great fighters.
Great little fight. Getting all over both fighters. Taking charge here. He doesn't want that head movement by Melchor Castro coming in head first. The rule here, if an accidental foul occurs before the end of the 6th round, it's a no decision. After the 6th, they go to the cards. We're in round 5.
Now comes a little action from Castro.
Yes, trying to tie him up. Meanwhile, a little holding and hitting there by Carbajal.
Yeah, because Carbajal likes to fight. I mean, he doesn't care if it's from outside or from inside. He just likes combat. He's got the fire burning in him. It's been banged by Chiquita in 2 fights, but he's back again. He's got that fire.
Castro coming forward. He is not known as a brawler, and Carbajal looking to get Castro into that kind of a fight.
So he kind of jumps forward on his toes. His feet are never really planted for any power. He's certainly not a power puncher, and if he's going to stop you, it's going to be from fatigue and a combination of that with the cumulative effect of a lot of punches if he lands a lot, and right now he's not landing a lot.
Michael Carbajal from Phoenix, Arizona. Melchor Castro from China, Campeche, Mexico.
Don't hold. He's having a little bit better round. Came out kind of nice with a 3 or 4 punch combination, pushed Carbajal back to the far corner, but you know, can't really get in, can't get respect from Carbajal because you can't hurt him.
Castro does not have power, and by the same token, Carbajal can really take a punch. So that does not bode well for the number 1 contender, Castro, as we head for the bell.
Pues cómo coño, si te estás peleando igual al mismo ritmo, no tienes ningún chispazo de cambio ni nada. Ni una combinación de perdida pelea como cuando estuviste con el Manquito Martínez. Oíste, estás peleando igual, una pelea tan común, tan nada de clase, ni velocidad, ni nada. Estás tirando unas combinaciones que no hiciste en el gimnasio. Tira, pelea.
He is getting berated by Nacho. He says you're fighting a common fight, an ordinary fight. You are getting beaten every round because you have no heart. You got to come out here and play. He is giving him hell. Says it's the 6th round. You're just giving this fight away. Start fighting.
Well, round 6 begins. Now, this type of pace would generally favor a champion, but there's no champion here. the lack of action a little bit surprising, and pressing the attack could sway the judges in a close fight.
Well, he's told him, he says, you're landing no combinations whatsoever. Your fighting is like if you're a beginner, you've forgotten everything you ever learned. Come in here and fight. This is for the title. Boy, he really gave them all.
Every once in a while, it's amazing to me sometimes that a trainer overlooks the power of the opposition and that it's really gotten his fighter's attention.
But you see how hard he's trying now? He is trying to at least satisfy his corner. He's trying to at least get some kind of approval when he gets to the corner. Because they really lacerated his confidence in the corner.
Well, he's coming in, he's taking his swings, he's getting his whacks in there. And what I've always maintained is that I get mad when fighters don't put themselves in a position to win but just survive. Saying, well, I went the distance with so-and-so, the great so-and-so. Just go the distance doesn't mean anything if you've never tried to win.
Break, stop.
Jay Nady, the third man to the ring from Las Vegas. Bill Graham of Las Vegas, Tom McDonough of Tacoma, Washington, and Dave Moretti of Las Vegas are the three judges ringside. Michael Carbajal with a wild left hook that misses.
Let go, Michael. Let go,
Boy,
Michael.
that was a hard left hook, too.
Let go, Michael.
Halfway through round 6. Crowd starting to get anxious and edgy. They want more action. Carbajal popping to the head, but that looks to be a hard head.
Let go, let go, let go.
Digging in to, oh.
Nice body shot.
Yes, that was.
Michael Carbajal unleashing.
You can tell when one is really digging in, and he's digging in with his body shots. Carbajal stepping up the pressure, stepping up the strength of his punches.
It's very difficult to communicate to the people at home how difficult when a fighter is so much stronger or more powerful than you, how difficult it is to work to him when he has all that extra strength. And that's one of the reasons Mike Tyson is so effective.
Let go, let go, let go.
Carbajal picking it up here now, beginning to land more frequently, and really digging to the body of Cobb Castro, the #1 contender. Off the top of the head by Cobb Castro, doing no damage to Carbajal. And those pitter-patter punches by Cobb Castro having no impact whatsoever. Sweeping left hook there by Carbajal to the top of Castro's head. Some of the quick words he used was humiliation, mediocrity, and an insult to the public.
All right, let's take a look at the way Carbajal punishes the body. There you go. And that is right to the ribs, and that hurts.
Yeah, you look at it again. He digs his nice shot. It's around, it's clean, right under the elbow. He digs it in there. And before that, there was 1 or 2 on the inside, so he's working the body. He's trying to slow the quicker man down.
So here we go into round number 7, halfway through this fight and halfway toward crowning a new champion. This is for the vacant IBF Junior Flyweight Championship. How about some unofficial scores, Doc?
I have him way ahead, 60-55.
Carbajal?
What you got? Yeah,
Actually, I got a 59-54. I threw around in there. It was close, but give the benefit of the doubt. I gave Castro the 5th round. I thought he threw a couple of more combinations, but at best, I'm going to give him 1 round.
That's the one I gave even, Bobby. I mean, I couldn't quite give it to him, but I made it even.
Carbajal looking for his 40th win. He's 39-2 with 25 knockouts. And as we mentioned, Carbajal, a slugger, more than a boxer, sometimes gets lured into the wrong kind of fight. Not unlike our colleague upstairs, Tommy Morrison, who sometimes fought the wrong style for certain fighters. What do you think about that, Tommy?
Well, I think certainly Castro's corner has got him certainly picking up the pace over the last few rounds. It seems like he's being a little bit more effective, but Carvajal seems to be keeping the distance and trying to, he seems to be lunging a little bit. So I think Carvajal is controlling the pace of the fight.
Tommy Morrison working alongside Jim Hill upstairs. We'll hear more from Tommy later.
Break. Stop. Don't hold. Stay firm. Don't hold.
Well, for what this fight may be lacking in action, may more than be made up for in our next fight, a special 6-round women's bout between Christy Martin and Deirdre Gogarty. And as Christy likes to say, don't go to the refrigerator.
She's never in a boring fight, Steve, and that's amazing for me to even be saying.
She feeds off the crowd. She loves the excitement, and she is explosive. Should be
such a sweet, nice lady when you talk to her, and as soon as that bell rings, she becomes vicious, just like any other fighter I know.
She said she got into a business where people ask her the things you're never supposed to ask a woman. What's your age?
Don't hold.
And what's your weight?
Michael, let go.
And unfortunately, she has to tell all.
Don't hold.
Well, the consequences of getting into this sport. Well, anyway, round 7 continues. Not much action here. It's scheduled for 12 for the IBF Junior Flyweight Championship. Wild swing and a miss there by the #1 contender, Melchor Castro. Carvajal pretty much controlling the fight, using his power. Less than 30 seconds remaining in round 7.
That straight right hand keeps coming down the pike. It's beginning to break up the brow. He's getting all red around the top of the forehead and the brow. And is Castro, and that's because Carvajal's straight right hand just is a thing of beauty. Comes right down there.
Well, he's finding out about those little hands of stone firsthand here. Manitas de Piedra.
And you can see Carvajal trying to draw him in and counter him, but right now Castro losing the battle.
Stop.
No va a tener nada, okay? Mira, when you hit him with that right hand and you throw the hook, if you miss that hook, you're just bending, right? Come back with the right hand, Michael, all right? Pero agáchate, si fallas el gancho, agáchate un poquito, okay? Turn your face with it.
A little brotherly advice. If you're gonna throw a hook,
they're edging him on
duck your head.
He ain't doing nothing. Dame un Q-tip.
Funny, we asked him how old his brother was, and he didn't know.
Tira combinaciones de golpes como ahorita, pero no tires una y te pares, vete encima de él, tire.
He said all out. Don't just throw a combination and stop. Punch. Keep going. This fight is gone unless you fight. I mean, they're sending him out to do or die.
Here we go, round 8. Melchor Castro in the blue, showing more of the effects of Michael Carvajal's punches, particularly on the forehead, but no dangerous cuts thus far. And Melchor Castro looking to step it up here.
He's got him right there. He should be punching every which way he can. But look what beautiful defense Carvajal put up just now. Not one of those punches landed as he watched him whistle by.
Yeah, Michael thought, and he said, I can't remember how old my brother is. I just know he's older than me. My brothers wish I would do that.
Let go. Stop. Don't grab his arm, Danny.
Quickly approaching the point of absolutely no return for Castro. He's got to really do something here to start to close this show if he wants to even be in the race for a decision.
Missing there with the right hook. He was off balance, too, when he threw it, moving to his left.
You know, Bobby, when you're ahead this far, I wonder if you just kind of gear down in your head and say, all I got to do is keep this up, and I'll win the fight. I don't have to knock this guy out or do anything. I mean, because Carvajal isn't fighting like he's desperate. He wants to knock this guy out. He wants to win convincingly.
Let go of him, Mike.
Here.
Let go of him.
There is a thing that we call playing it
safe.
safe, you know, I guess in sometimes.
That's what I'm asking you. Do you see what I see? It just looks like a guy playing it safe, going into the 12th round and picking up his belt.
You know, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. At the same time, I like to be a little more sure of things and convincing. He's winning the rounds, but not by any great margins. You can never tell in a couple of the rounds that are close. They may swing the other way, and controversy surrounds us wherever we go.
Effective punch there just a moment ago. A sweet little crisp right hook by Michael Carvajal that tagged Castro right on the jaw. Carvajal continues to have his way. Less than a minute remaining in round number 8. Carbajal doing what he said he would do. Look to cut off the ring, cut off the angles, and try to get Cobb Castro into a slugfest.
I just leaned over and said to his brother who's sitting next to me, have you seen Cobb win any rounds? He said, hell no, he hasn't won a round yet. Of course, you would expect your brother to say that.
Right.
Except your brother might not say that.
He might disagree. There's a counter punch, a straight left by Cobb Castro. Michael Carbajal walking right into it, but shaking off the effect. He's got the good chin.
And that's one of the things you don't want to do, is you don't want to get careless and walk into a punch like that and get caught with a Sunday punch.
This guy's, his record shows, doesn't have a big Sunday punch.
He sure doesn't. Only 19 knockouts, 45 wins. That's the end of round 8. Well, earlier this evening, the arrival of the champion, perennial underdog Frank Bruno. This is just moments ago. A national hero in his native England. The normally friendly and gregarious Bruno has been all businesslike this week. For this jovial giant turned surly on the subjects of money and disrespect, feeling that he's been treated more like the challenger than the champ. Bruno reportedly getting $6 million, less than 1/5 of Tyson's fee. The fans in the arena are reacting. They're seeing Bruno come in on the big screen, and he promises to keep the crown in England. He'll have about 5,000 wild cheering countrymen in his corner, with millions more watching back home at about 4 in the morning British time on England's first pay-per-view sports event. There you see the Union Jack alongside the American flag.
Steve, I don't get those sunglasses at night. Could you explain that to me?
When he came in with saying he looks like Joe Williams from the Count Basie band, the guy that used to sing the blues. Maybe he's coming in to sing some blues tonight.
He's incognito, Bobby. Does not want to be recognized.
Joe Williams, the name from the past.
Round number 9 for the vacant IBF Junior Flyweight Championship. Boy, Cobb Castro, if he has any ideas of getting back in there, he's going to have to assert himself starting right now.
Well, I think the first thing, he should assert himself in the corner and start talking back and saying, hey, I'm trying all I can. Stop criticizing me and tell me what to do. Don't tell me what I'm not doing. How can I solve this?
You know, I suspect it's just trying to motivate him, and I know they've gone over what they're supposed to do earlier, and obviously he can't get it done right now. Carbajal's too strong, punches too hard.
And it's simply a better boxer.
Although the last round I thought he did much better than he had previous rounds. Started to land some clean punches, some follow-up combinations. It's the follow-up combinations that he needs to concentrate on more, because he lands a couple and then backs off, and he can't do that.
And that's what his corner's telling him, Bobby. He said, you can't just land one punch and go back. It's combinations. It's what got you here. Don't start fighting like an amateur again.
Cobb Castro is a former champion. He won the WBC light flyweight title in his American debut in '91, a 10th round TKO of Rolando Pasqua at the Great Western Forum in Englewood, California. Less than 90 days later, his first defense, he lost on unanimous decision, a grueling battle to Chiquita Gonzalez, June 3rd in Las Vegas.
There was a nice sharp counter. Once again, he let Carbajal's right hand slip through and followed with the left, but that was it. Then he went back, stepped back to look at what he'd done, and you can't do that not being a big puncher. You're not going to see dramatic results.
Cobb Castro's career started in '85, got off to a slow start, was 3-1-4 his first 8 fights, turned it around over the next 5 years, winning 27 of his next 28 fights, but only 19 knockouts and 45 victories. All 4 of his losses by decision. He also has 4 draws.
At least the last 2 rounds have been more representative of what Cobb Castro can do, because he's coming ahead to fight. He wants to engage in the battle. It's just that Carbajal's too slick for it.
In Carbajal's corner, they talked about him trying to do something a la Chiquita Gonzalez, like, and that is wait for the late rounds and come on. And he's certainly trying here. And Carbajal's fending him off, but not with any demonstrative statements.
Bobby, are you impressed with Carbajal, or is it that Cobb Castro is just not putting up much of a fight against him? Does this mean Carbajal is all the way back, or how should we assess the situation?
You know, this is a touch-and-go kind of thing, because you don't want to take away from a fighter if another fighter's not doing well, and you don't want to add to what a fighter's not doing. Michael Carbajal's fighting a smart fight based on what's in front of him. It's an awkward fight because of the southpaw style and the herky-jerky jumping in and out of Castro, and I'm not overly impressed with Carbajal today. I thought he was doing something better earlier. Now, you know, the little fella's coming on a little stronger, so we'll see what he can do here in the closing round.
There's a wild miss by Cobb Castro. We've seen a lot of that in a straight right to end the round by Carbajal.
Acuérdate, cuando te mueves para la izquierda, agáchate para atrás, tira la derecha, el gancho y la derecha, ¿ok? You'll catch it. En combinación, lo tienen que mandar a pelear. They gotta send him out to fight because he ain't winning this fight, okay? They gotta send him out for broke.
Keep the hands high. Keep the hands high. Drop.
One of the interested spectators, and it's not even a Laker game, Jack Nicholson.
I wonder if he wandered in here by mistake. Oh, I thought that was a basketball game in here last night.
So thumbs up to the camera.
Maybe I could ask Jack about the sunglasses.
Yeah.
Well, round 10. That's right, if anybody would know. I wonder if Cobb Castro realizes he has only 9 minutes to become the champion. He's the #1 contender. This is for the vacant title. He just doesn't seem to have the power to overcome Carbajal. He's going to the body, but doing no damage.
Well, to his credit, though, in the past couple rounds, he's pressed ahead and he's made better rounds. He's actually won a round or so, made one even on my card, and he's doing better. He's being more effective, but it's too little too late.
I gave that last round to him. He was getting effective. He was getting in there. He's punching, but you know, not impressive. He was, but doing compared to what he was doing, he's a whirlwind of action.
Cobb Castro in the blue really showing the effects of these punches on his face all red.
You know, getting back to the is Carbajal back theme. You know, styles make fights, as we know. And here's styles that negate both guys not looking good. Carvajal's not looking great. The other guy's not looking good either. And they're both good fighters.
Cobb Castro winging away here.
See, what he just did there is exactly what he has to do. He threw a nice 1-2, a nice right hand, a straight left. Both landed clean. He stepped out, let Carbajal miss, and then fired a 3-punch combination back. That's how he does what he has to do to win the fight. If he doesn't do that, he can't win this fight. Right now, he may not be able to win it anyway.
But that's what his corner was telling me exactly. Just don't punch once or twice and then step back, come back in again. And that's what he did. Exactly what Bobby described just then is what his corner's been telling him to do.
Coming in, known as an excellent boxer, Cobb Castro, with world-class talent and ability.
Let go.
But being offset here by Michael Carbajal, a very awkward fight.
See, being a fighter that boxes and doesn't really punch, and being so short-armed and so short in height, the only way for him to win a fight from the outside is by using so much energy, get all the way in and all the way out and all the way back in, that it's just almost impossible to do. The energy level he would need is too much. He has to stay on the edges of Carbajal's gloves, or get under or around him, on top of him, and over and counter again.
As I said at the outset, Cobb Castro usually a slow starter and a fast finisher. We'll see. We are near the end of the fight. It's the end of round 10, scheduled for 12.
Watch your head.
I wonder if Cobb Castro feels he's wearing Carbajal down for a big finish.
And you see there, instead of slipping, what he did is he threw 2 punches, blocked Carbajal, and then fired back. At least do something, but he's got to throw back. He's got to out-throw Carbajal because his punches are lighter. They're quicker, but they're much lighter in what they do in the way of power and damage.
Certainly a lot more action from Cobb Castro now. We approach the final 10 seconds of round 10.
Well, now he's doing what he has to do. He's winning the round. He's outworking Carbajal, which is what he needed to do earlier.
Round 10 of the books. Let's go over to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Steve Albert. I'm joined by 2 former champions in the heavyweight division, Michael Spinks and Smokin' Joe Frazier. It's been 25 years since Ali Frazier won. I'm great, Joe. How do you see Tyson Bruno?
Well, I would say it's going to be a good fight as long as it lasts. I don't know how long it's going to last, and I don't know the condition of the young man, but Tyson should be ready, and Bruno been there for a long time, so that he should be ready to go too.
52 years old, you're looking great. Let's turn to Michael real quick. Michael, your thoughts on Tyson and Bruno?
I'm interested to see just how it goes. I'm wondering if Tyson had enough work before he take such a big step going for the championship. And I know how it feels to hold such a crown, a coveted crown as the heavyweight championship of the world. So I think Bruno loves what he has, and I think he's going to take Tyson a lot of work to.
Would you want a rematch with Tyson should he win?
Would I want one?
Yeah.
I'll fight anybody for a fee. Anybody for a fee. Tyson, Goliath.
Might go longer than the 90-something seconds.
For sure, for sure.
Mike, stand over there.
All right, let's go back to Steve Albert.
All right, Jim. Too much Vaseline on the face of Cobb Castro.
Actually, the referee said, let Jim Gray finish the interview, and then we'll start. So, because Jim, you know, he's big since he's been doing football and stuff.
Very accommodating.
Hey, Jim's just not any little body. He's big.
Joe Frazier just celebrating the 25th anniversary of Ali Frazier. And, of course, Michael Spinks, who was obliterated by Tyson in the fight just before Tyson Bruno in '89.
March 8th, 1971, I was 9 years old. The first impact Joe Frazier had in my life. I cried myself to sleep because I was a big Ali fan. I talked about it with Joe and Ali, but, you know, what a fight that was.
Indeed. And the man
we ended up that fight in the hospital getting x-ray. I mean, that was some night, that fight. A lot of people were crying that night.
All right, we're into the championship rounds here for the IBF Junior Flyweight Championship. Michael Carbajal in the white trunks is the #2 contender. He has been controlling the fight with his power. And the #1 challenger in the blue trunks, Melchor Cobb Castro, who's had his difficulties here.
But finally coming on to fight like he should have been fighting from the first round.
This is the type of fight he needed to fight from the onset, Freddie. That's exactly right. He needed to stay closer, block the shots, and just do his best to negate the power. He couldn't make every punch miss, and he couldn't stay outside every punch. Takes too much energy to get back inside once again.
Well, he's a guy who heats up more as the fight wears on, but he might be too far behind on the scorecards.
I think he's quite a way. I think he needs a knockout to win, but
and that's not his.
And of course, we are in Vegas.
Well, he's only got 19 KOs and 45 wins, as we have mentioned. But it becomes a factor here. Those pitter-patter punches not really having much impact.
Yeah, they're good for points, and that's great. But if you can do that the whole fight, you win a decision. But you're not going to knock somebody out with that type of punching.
Let go.
But the thing that leads you, and as fans at home, who are you watching here? You're watching the guy in the blue trunks. That's who's making these fights. The last 3 rounds, you're watching him. You're not watching the other guy. Carbajal is standing there just counter-punching, you know, parrying and so forth. But the guy's making a fight is Cobb.
Don't hold.
Cobb Castro's making a fight here.
Unless you're in Phoenix, where you're backing up Carbajal.
Yeah, it's funny how the fans see the fights, especially when they're behind someone. According to some of my fans, I've almost never lost a fight, and that's truly amazing. I can appreciate that kind of adoration.
You did lose? I don't believe it. Oh, no. And you've got one coming up May 10th against Evander Holyfield.
At the big room in the Garden where Frazier and Ali had it out, and it's certainly a highlight of my life.
It's going to be a great thrill. All right, round 11 coming to a close, less than 20 seconds.
Let go. Stop, break, stop. I'll be pushing.
Cobb Castro making a little of a fight, a little of a run at the title here. Not wildly impressive, but he is the one that's doing the fighting.
Seconds, he's trying to come in and steal it, okay? No lo dejes.
What he's trying to do.
No, porque te está haciendo blah, 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 blah. But he ain't doing shit, all right? That right hand is still landing. I want you to use it more, all right? And when you hear that 10-second sound, pícale, muévete.
This is the last round.
Okay?
Michael, this is the last round, round 12.
Hold on.
They'll try and come at you because he knows
I got it. You all right?
His hands way up, Michael.
Necesitas parar, necesitas tirar. Golpes. ¿Qué no entiendes? Explota. Le ganan los rounds por muy poquito margen cuando deberías de haberlo liquidado. Es un muerto, no tiene ya absolutamente nada él. Está liquidado, sin embargo está peleando, tiene un corazón ahí. Tú haciendo las cosas mal. Tira golpes, no hay otra cosa, una fórmula. Tira golpes. 3 minutos de perdida para salvarte el ritmo.
3 minutes to the title. There is no formula here. Throw punches, he says. Exploit your punches. This guy is liquidated, meaning he's tired, and you're letting him go. You explode with a punch, and then you don't follow it up. Just 3 minutes of punching. Now go get this guy.
All right, round 12 for the vacant IBF Junior Flyweight Championship, a title that Michael Carbajal held before. The same title he's going for tonight. He won it in 1990, successfully defended the championship 6 times before meeting Chiquita Gonzalez in a slugfest in 1993. Carbajal rallied from 2 early knockdowns to stop Gonzalez in the 7th for his 2nd title, the WBA light flyweight belt, defended his titles twice, and now he's trying to come back again and win another championship.
You know, I think that Castro may actually finish this fight with too much energy. My trainer, Tommy Parks, always says, you finish the fight with energy enough to go 2 more rounds, you cheated yourself during the first 10 or 12. And he's right. Leave it all in the ring. Don't take any home with you.
I think if he ever looks at this tape, he's going to regret not fighting like this from round 5 on. I mean, there was no reason to not fight like this. Obviously, he's a much better fighter than he's shown. He didn't get to be the champion by being a bad fighter. That's why his corner's so mad. His corner says, you've been a champion. You're fighting like an amateur. You're disgracing yourself.
You know, he's closing out the fight, making a good account of himself. But again, I think it's too little too late. Winning the last couple of rounds and now putting together what he can.
Carvajal in pursuit of his 40th win against 2 defeats. Bob Castro 45-4-4 coming in. We have seen some surprising decisions here in Las Vegas, as we've talked about before, but this one really doesn't seem to be much question about it. Michael Carvajal in control.
Although it wouldn't shock me, Steve. It would take a lot to shock me these days.
Well, weren't you with us with Nigel Benn? I mean, there was a guy that gave Nigel Benn that fight by 2 points. That was just a few weeks ago. Overwhelming beating that Nigel Benn got
against Tulane Sugarboy Malinga, and on that night he announced his retirement on the ring mic and also proposed to his girlfriend. It was quite an emotional moment.
And now he's taken back to retirement. He's trying to include the proposal in the same thing. I don't know. I was dizzy. I don't know what I was saying.
Can you imagine if the girlfriend said no? That's a bad night.
That was a bad night.
You lose the title and then she says no.
You know, we joke about
the last round.
We joke about those things, but I'll tell you what, after a fighter loses a tough fight with a world championship on the line, sentiments come in all shapes and sizes.
Less than 20 seconds, round 12 for the vacant IBF Junior Flyweight Championship. Melcher Cobb Castro coming on, but too late from this vantage point. Michael Carvajal pretty much controlling most of the fight from the beginning. And there you have it. And Jane 80 says the fight's over. And now they'll tally up the cards. Bill Graham of Las Vegas, Tom McDonough of Tacoma, and Dave Moretti of Las Vegas, the 3 judges.
Kind of ended in the reverse of its start.
It started to look like it was going to be a total shutout and embarrassment just to announce your card. But this guy made it interesting in the card. He's got 3 or 4 rounds to play with here. I mean, you know, stranger things have happened in my life.
He gave him away.
Yeah, he did.
Well,
stranger things have happened.
Despite the tirades of Ignacio Nacho Beristain in his corner, he just did not respond the way Beristain would have liked him to. Beristain has trained 8 world champions, including the upcoming Ricardo Lopez and the much talked about Chiquita Gonzalez. And Michael Carvajal seems pleased with his efforts.
For Birdie Park. All you kids at the park, this is for you.
Nice sentiments by Michael Carvajal, extending word to the kids back in the Phoenix area. He is from the streets of Phoenix, trains in his backyard, the 9th Street Gym, converted from an old church on 9th Street, renamed it the 9th Street Gym. Michael Carvajal looking to make it 40 wins against just 2 defeats, those 2 losses to Gonzalez with 25 knockouts, but this one goes the distance all the way as we wait for the official decision. And it is taking some time, and you wonder why. Then again, as we've mentioned time and time again, we are in Las Vegas, folks.
Go bigger.
Where anything can happen. Melcher Cobb Castro, who came on strong, but probably too late. And we're just about set to send it over to Jimmy Lennon Jr. for the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Bill Graham scores the bout 115 to 113. Judge Tom McDonough scores the bout 117 to 111. And Dave Moretti sees the bout at 116 to 112. All 3 in favor of the winner of the vacant IBF Junior Flyweight title, Michael Carvajal.
So there you have it. It's a clean sweep. All 3 judges had Michael Carvajal. 115, 113, 117, 111. Biggest disparity there. and 116 to 112. Michael Carbajal recaptures the IBF Junior Flyweight Championship. Let's get over to Jim Gray, who's standing by with the champion. Jim?
All right, thank you, Steve. Michael, congratulations on getting your title back. Did you feel as though you were just able to wear him down throughout the fight?
Yeah, I just I planned to box him. I was going to be aggressive, but I knew he was a tough fighter. He could take a good punch, so I just planned to box him because I thought I was catching him from the outside, and I kept throwing him good right hands. And everybody, Birdie Park, this is for you, all you kids up there in the neighborhood. Hey, Phoenix is back with the world champion.
How difficult has this time been for you without your championship belt?
It's been disappointing. You know, when you lose a title fight, it's disappointing, but you got to come back and work hard. Like I tell you, all you little kids out there, hey, we work hard and we get what we want, and put your mind to it, and you can do it.
Michael, congratulations to you.
Thank you. Hey.
All right, let's go back down to Steve Alpert.
All right, Jim, thanks very much.